One, the last word. It's over. One of the longest droughts in New York sports history is over. A Mets pitcher has thrown a no-hitter, Johan Santana. On the night when Carlos Beltran returns to Citi Field, Johan Santana makes New York sports history. We'll hear from the man of the hour and plenty others. There is other news of the day. The Yankees playing the Tigers. The Rangers getting word that Marian Gaborik needs shoulder surgery and will likely miss the beginning of next season. But there is only one story tonight in New York. Mets fans, this show is yours. Your emails, your phone calls. As always, the email is sportson1@ny1.com. The phone number is 212-NY1TALK. And yes, the Twitter account, twitter.com/sportson1. Hello, good evening, and welcome to a Friday night here on Sports on One, The Last Word. I'm Bud Mishkin. Thanks for joining us as always. A night unlike any other in Mets history. You did not have to be a Mets fan to know that something was missing from the team's history. The last team left that did not have a no-hitter. They'd come close. 35 one-hitters, including Bobby Jones in the 2000 playoffs. Most famously, Tom Seaver on July 9th, 1969. Perfect threw one out in the ninth against the Cubs at Shea, only to give up a clean single to Jimmy Qualls. It had been one part of the Mets' history conspicuous by its absence until tonight. There was, as there is in so many no-hitters, an amazing catch. Mickey Mantle during Don Larkison's perfect game comes to mind. But it wouldn't be the Mets unless there was some controversy too, and there was very definitely a controversial call. So here we go, to Citi Field, pre-game story, the return of Carlos Beltran in a Cardinals uniform. Nice ovation from the crowd. First inning, facing his former teammate, Johan Santana. Santana throws him the changeup, and Beltran is out swinging. So we're underway. And then, with two on, second inning, the called third strike, and Santana is out of trouble. To the Mets' fourth we go. David Wright takes this pitch down Broadway and belts it deep to right center. Beltran takes a bit of a circuitous route to the ball, up against the fence. It's a double for Wright. The run was held, but the Mets are in business. Then, after one run comes home, it's Daniel Murphy. Murphy at the plate with a man on, and it's up the gap, and here we go. Run comes home easily. That's right. And Murphy never stops. Goes for three. He's in with a triple. Mets are up 2-0. Top six. This play will be replayed for a long time. Beltran, the shot down the line. Called foul by umpire Adrian Johnson. Another look. It definitely kicks up some chalk. Did you see it land on the outskirts of the line, but definitely on the line, and there's the evidence right there. Divot shows it was a fair ball. Then Beltran hits it pretty hard, but he grounds to third, and he's out at first. The third base coach and then manager Mike Matheny really getting into it with the umpire, and they have a lot to say, so does the umpire, but they don't get thrown out of the game. Later in the sixth, and Holiday strikes out. And then, it's a bit windy out at Citi Field. Watch the pop-up here to Ike Davis. And the sixth, routine pop-up, right? Not so fast. Wind's going all over the place. Finally, he makes the catch. So we're through six, no hits, with a little help from the umpire at third. Bottom six, Lucas Duda with two men on, not for long. A three-run shot and gone to give Santana some cushion. Mets take a 5-0 lead. Top seven now. Santana back out on the mound. Yadier Molina with the shot deep to left. And here we go. Mike Baxter makes a sensational play and then doesn't stop. Runs right into the wall. Clearly worth another look. You see him? He can't really stop himself. He makes the play, but he gets hurt. Had to come out of the game, but the no-hitter is still intact. Again, in many of these no-hitters, there's the play, the fielding play that you remember. Baxter will go down as the fielding play tonight. And then, later in the seventh, two outs, still a ground ball. First, that's it. Bottom seven now. It's Murphy. Had a big night, bases loaded.